In today's show, we're looking ahead to Tuesday's action in the NBA. Michael Bolton is also looking ahead.
Thanks, Josh. It's Michael Bolton here, and it's time for another episode of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, indeed.
You are Locked On Fantasy Basketball, your daily fantasy basketball podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast, brought to you by Basketball Monster. My name is Josh Lloyd and I am the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com and at Yahoo Sports Australia. And you can find me on Twitter, as always, at redrock_bball and on Instagram at Locked On Fantasy Basketball. This episode is brought to you by TrueBill. TrueBill is the new app that saves you money by helping you identify and stop paying for those subscriptions you don't want or need, and can even negotiate better deals on those that you want to keep. Thank you also for making Locked On Fantasy Basketball your first listen every day. We are free and available on all platforms. We are here to look ahead to Tuesday. There's just the 4 games on, so we're going to do a what to watch for. Let's get into it. The first game we look at is the Miami Heat and the Detroit Pistons. PJ Tucker has been playing at a really high level, like top 70 level over the last 2 weeks. Usage is up, minutes are up, production is up. He's been at least a solid streamer. I like him as a streamer, actually, on this day with no Markieff Morris once more. Just keeping an eye to see whether this increased usage is something that's going to stick for Peach. While for the Heat as well, Bam Adebayo. Been a bit disappointed with Bam's lack of, or low field goal percentage. The lack of assists we predicted. The rebounds have been great. I just didn't expect his field goal percentage to drop off as much. And that, I guess, comes with the increased usage. Just see if he can start to find some more efficient shots on the court. That would be great. While for the Pistons, they are going to be without old mate, the Flaming Galar.
Is that you, Mr. Stewart?
Well, who the hell else do you think it'd be? Get in here, you pair of flaming galars.
Alf Stewart has been suspended for 2 games by the NBA for that altercation with LeBron James. So he's out. So what the hell are they going to do? Cade Cunningham, I always want to watch. I didn't like the way that Jeremy Grant hijacked the offense to run long 2 ISOs. That's shocking. But Cunningham's looked great. And I want to see him really start to demand the ball more, or not even demand the ball more, to get his coach to tell Jeremy Grant to calm down and give him the ball more. That would be great to see. And then also Jeremy Grant. Do they start Jeremy at center? Do they start Trey Lyles at center, which is pretty gross? Do they start Luka Garza, which is even more gross, at center? So how the Jeremy Grant at center minutes go? What does that mean for Frank Jackson and Hamidou Diallo in that scenario? Lots of different things, in terms of, I don't think that you're going to imagine Luka Garza against Bam Adebayo. Holy shit. Like, that's not going to go well. Neither is Trey Lyles. I think the Pistons are in real strife here, and there's going to be just more wings that get more minutes rather than Lyles and Garza playing a ton of those minutes at center. The other side of the suspension is, of course, the Los Angeles Lakers. They go to take on the New York Knicks. LeBron suspended for this game. So TALEN HORTON-TUCKER, you would guess, would move back into the starting lineup. Hopefully they don't go with DeAndre Jordan in that starting lineup again, although they may, to match up against the Knicks' big man in Nerlens Noel. I want to see Horton-Tucker, though, whose 2 games with LeBron have been bad, largely due to efficiency rather than minutes or shots. So let's see if he can find a solid role here. And then what do they do with Carmelo Anthony? Will he start with LeBron out? Will they get rid of DeAndre Jordan out of that lineup? Melo has seen his usage drop and the efficiency fall away from where it was, as well as the defensive stats, but he is still playing at a decent enough level, and he is a solid stream option for these games. While for the Knicks, Alec Burks, will they make the move and start Burks over Fournier? They won't do it over Barrett, even though they maybe should. But Burks is playing at a high level. I want to see how he looks and what the minutes look like there. And then also Obi Toppin. We don't know if Taj Gibson or Mitchell Robinson will play. I think they're both not going to play, to be fair. I think Robinson's already ruled out. But can Toppin get more center minutes? Can he play 20 minutes? I've been impressed with how he's done in that small ball center role. Tom Thibodeau disagrees, of course, because Tom Thibodeau is stuck in the dark ages in terms of playing basketball at times. So I'd like to see Toppin expand that game a little bit more and get some more playing time. That would be pretty good to see, I think. For the Nuggets and the Blazers, Farton Will Barton was pretty bad last time out for Denver. They are dealing with injuries, of course. Big Chungus Nikola Jokic is questionable with his wrist issue. Bones Highland, the big stiffy, he's out with his ankle problem. Barton really struggled last game with efficiency. He will bounce back, I have no doubt. And then Aaron Gordon. If Jokic is out, Gordon's numbers have gone up. They haven't really gone up as much without Porter. Porter, of course, isn't going to be here and may not be here all season. Gordon hasn't really taken advantage of the no Porter minutes, but he does take advantage of the no Jokic minutes. So really keep an eye on see how Gordon goes with Jokic if he plays, or without Jokic if Nick happens to be out. While for the Blazers, use of Nurkic, I tweeted this out today. Nurkic is a top 50 player over the last 2 weeks and plays fewer minutes than literally anybody in the top 80. I don't expect Chauncey Billups to read that tweet and go, well, I've got to play more minutes. It's more just that he is actually producing at a really high level. And there is scope for that to improve, even though I doubt that it will. So how Nurkic's minutes look compared to Larry Nance's minutes, compared to Robert Covington's minutes, do we get Nurkic playing 26 or does he stay in this 22, 23-minute role that he has been in? Well, Larry Nance is at least a 12-team league guy for now. I'm yet to be convinced that he's going to remain that guy all season, but I just want to see how he gets used in this matchup against the Blazers. The other thing to against the Nuggets, the other thing to watch for is that Nurkic does tend to struggle against Jokic, and if Jokic is there, I would be pretty skeptical about what Nurk can do. But if Jokic isn't there, let's see if he can turn things around. Although Billups might then say, well, instead of JaMychal Green's not a great matchup for you, we'll have to play more small. So that could obviously go in many, many different directions. What is this sound? It is the sound of another sale through Shopify, the all-in-one commerce platform to start, run, and to grow your business. Shopify gives entrepreneurs the resources once reserved for big business, so upstarts, startups, and established businesses alike can sell everywhere, synchronize online and in-person sales, and effortlessly stay informed. Scaling your business is a journey of endless possibility, and Shopify helps you make your entrepreneurial dreams come true. Shopify has all the tools and the resources to make it easy for any business to succeed from down the street to around the globe. It allows you to gain insights as you grow with detailed reporting of conversion rates, profit margins, and beyond. So go to shopify.com/LockedOnNBA, that's all lowercase, for a free 14-day trial and get full access to Shopify's entire suite of features. Grow your business with Shopify today. Go to shopify.com/LockedOnNBA right now. Shopify.com/LockedOnNBA. All right, let's move on now to the next game. We're looking at the Mavericks and the Clippers. I feel like these two teams just played each other because they just did on Sunday, but they're back at it again. Luka Doncic is officially questionable for this game. So what does that mean for the burner, Jalen Brunson, who's been putting up really, really strong numbers? Can he keep up 30-plus minutes, or will he go back to a 29 to 30-minute role if Doncic plays? And then also MAXI KLEBER, who is back in action, but he wasn't great in that first game back. I still think MAXI can get to a 24-minute role, and if he's blocking shots at a high rate, there is absolutely streaming value there for him in 12-team formats. For the Clippers, I want to watch Serge Ibaka more to see what they do with Ibaka versus Zubac versus Hartenstein. Hartenstein didn't play at all in the second half of Sunday's game with Ibaka getting 12 minutes. Can Ibaka push into 20 minutes at all? I really don't think that he is going to be a 12-team league guy, but I want to watch to see how that goes. While the old Farmers Union himself, Amir Coffey, will probably get another start with Nick Batum out due to COVID protocols or due to having COVID. So will Coffey produce anything that makes him at least like a 16-team league guy or maybe even a 14-team league streamer on a day like this, given the paucity of games? In terms of back-to-back stream options, these teams play Tuesday and Wednesday. But remember, Wednesday is a gigantic 13-game day. So even though these guys do play both days, you probably don't have an active roster spot for them on Wednesday. But it is worth at least investigating. Corey Joseph, PJ Tucker, Nasir Little, Anthony Simons, Malik Monk, and Frank Jackson. So we're looking at the Heat, we're looking at the Pistons, we're looking at the Blazers, we're looking at the Lakers, who have the Tuesday-Wednesday combination there. In terms of 9 category streams just for Tuesday, Corey Joseph, Luke Kennard, Dorian Finney-Smith, Terrence Mann, Alec Burks, Nasir Little, PJ Tucker, and Emmanuel Quickley. Quickley's really one that I want to watch just because of what the hell is going on with Kemba Walker. Derrick Rose is questionable with an ankle problem. There might be some really, really big performances from Quickley. Well, I hope there is. It'd be pretty cool to see him put up some games, but I really don't see your mate Tom Thibodeau eventually just end up starting him. I would be pretty stunned if that happened. I'd be excited, but I would also be pretty stunned. Guys, do you know that free trials, they often renew without your consent? It's because business is scamming. They're trying to get the money out of you. Don't let greedy corporations pocket your money. Download TrueBill and take control of your subscriptions. TrueBill is the new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions you don't need, want, or that you simply forgot about. On average, people save up to $720 a year with TrueBill because companies make subscriptions hard to cancel. TrueBill makes it incredibly simple. Just link your accounts and TrueBill will cancel all of your unwanted subscriptions in one tap. And your TrueBill concierge is there when you need them to cancel unwanted subscriptions so you don't have to. TrueBill has over 2 million users and helped save them over $100 million. Is your ex still using your Netflix? Well, that's what one woman found out after she downloaded TrueBill, which finds and cancels subscriptions with just a tap. So don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at truebill.com/lockedonnba. Go right now, truebill.com/lockedonnba. You could save you thousands a year. truebill.com/lockedonnba. And when you're looking to save money, one of the biggest ripoffs out there is car parts. Going to your local chain auto parts store, it's a terrible experience. You go there, you got to line up, you got to wait for someone to talk to you, and then they're going to condescendingly ask you questions, and they're going to charge you more money. Get out of here. Go to rockauto.com, an online family business serving auto parts customers online for over 20 years. Whether it's brake parts, tail lamps, motor oil, even new carpet, Rock Auto has everything that you could need for your car. So head to rockauto.com. In there, how did you hear about us box? Once you've loaded up your cart with everything you need, and how did you hear about us box? Right, Locked On, so that they know that we sent you. Amazing selection, reliably low prices, all the parts your car will ever need. rockauto.com. And just to round out this show, let's look at some deep league streamers now. We're looking at Corey Joseph. We're looking at Dwight Powell, Jeff Green, who will probably start again for Michael Porter Jr., Serge Ibaka, MAXI KLEBER, Frank Jackson in Detroit's a really interesting one. You could throw Lyles and Luka Garza in there as well, even MC Hamidou Diallo. And Malik Monk for the Lakers. With the absence of LeBron James, there is perhaps some value opening up there for Malik Monk. And then lastly, we look at points leagues. Corey Joseph, Eric Bledsoe, Luke Kennard, Larry Nance, Terrence Mann, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Nasir Little. Guys, that'll do it for today's What to Watch For. I'll be back later on with a full recap of all of the 10 games from Monday. Don't forget to subscribe to this show on YouTube. Give it a thumbs up and leave your comments below. Or audio-wise, follow on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and on the Odyssey app. Guys, we are done here. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. See ya.